In what I see as a sign of things to come, Quibi is starting to have pay cuts at an executive level. I think there's more going on here. Let's take a look.
Ladies and gentlemen, hiss and foes, welcome to the Culture Casino.
Short-form video was supposed to be all the rage. I mean, that's what YouTube kind of is, isn't it? A bunch of creators making some content, relating the news of the day, their opinion on something, those types of things. But YouTube seems to have more soul than most of the shorts that are put together by Hollywood these days. And to that end, we have to talk again, for probably the third or fourth time, about the platform Quibi. Again, Quibi is trying to present 10-minute or less videos that are put together by celebrities and a writing team. But in a follow-up to our previous update on Quibi to begin with, they're having to change many things all at once in order to keep the platform running. The Hollywood Reporter is reporting that senior executives are going to be taking a 10% pay cut in order to help accommodate some cost savings, or belt tightening, I believe is what they used in the article. Now, the app has not garnered very many subscribers. In fact, right now it only has 1.6 million. And again, those are people who are taking advantage of the 90-day trial period, which will end sometime in early July. Now, the platform's only been going for 2 months. So I'm not sure one more month is going to help the platform very much. Originally, we talked about this before, they raised under $2 billion, and it's being reported either 1.7 or 1.8 billion to get this thing off the ground. With Whitman running it as the CEO and Katzenberg as the chairman, this thing was poised to do well, or at least it was poised to look like it could do well. It was going to be the first mobile-oriented platform, which obviously isn't going to work out because it didn't have a good content delivery for the large screen. So from the story, I'll read very quickly because it's important. The company obviously is having the pay cuts of 10%. The Wall Street Journal, which first reported the pay cuts, reported that the company had discussed laying off about 10% of its 250-person staff, but they did not actually follow through on those plans. In the memo from Whitman and Katzenberg, it said, "We are not laying off staff as part of cost-saving measures." And they added that they had recently added a dozen new Quibi employees. It's never a good sign. Quibi launched, as I mentioned, on April 6th with 90-day free subscriber programs. They had short-form video series from Chrissy Teigen, Antoine Fuqua, and Idris Elba, and several others. Now, of course, many of them have done dumb stuff on Twitter and other platforms prior to this thing launching, which kind of set some people against them. But anyway, it looked like Quibi's early growth wasn't just a little bit underwhelming. The app has been downloaded about 3.5 million times. Now, that is the same number that I reported over a week ago. It has had 1.3 million active users, which who knows how they measure that, because that's not disclosed either. But Katzenberg acknowledged that the numbers were far lower than anticipated. In fact, he says, "It's not close to what we wanted," after noting that I attribute everything that has gone wrong to the global crisis that we're dealing with. No. You marketed it to a tiny bit of a tiny bit of a tiny bit of the population. So 1.3 million seems about right to me. That seems like about maybe the 2% of the Twitter people out there. Anyway, not very bright. But of course, again, launching on the small screen was a problem, which obviously, as we discussed last week, they are now making it possible to use AirPlay for Apple TV from your phone to the device, and they're going to be making it available for Chromecast this month. So maybe that'll help, the ability to stream to a larger platform in 10-minute segments. But when you're looking at something like that, and again, I mean, my videos are 10, 12, 15 minutes at most, and I'm afraid that that amount of content is going to be something that I'm going to continue to produce, is right around that 10 to 15 minute mark, sometimes 8 minutes. But when you look at what you're paying for, because this will be a paid for subscription, the ad paid revenue we talked a lot, the with ad content is $4.99 a month. We talked about this last month, is what I was trying to say. And the without ad content is $7.99 a month. So they want you to pay $8. And this is not HBO, guys. This isn't an established service like Netflix with tons of content. You have very little content, and you delivering it onto people's phones and tablets. It was really bad. But as I mentioned before, and it makes note in the article, that the WSJ, the Wall Street Journal, previously reported that Quibi's advertisers, who had committed $150 million up front to be part of the app's launch, are looking to renegotiate their contracts that are based on Quibi's early performance. A number of Hollywood companies, including Disney, NBC Universal, and talent agencies UTA and CAA, have implemented pay cuts amid the global pandemic that we're currently dealing with, which has halted a lot of film and television productions, and of course softened the ad revenue market. So there are a lot of built-in excuses. None of them do I actually think apply. But anyway, there's more trouble ahead for them, because Quibi staffers are very upset because Reese Witherspoon is getting a $6 million payday for voicing over some program that they put together that has to do with narrating a nature show. So from the article here, it says Quibi staff are seething on the savannah after Reese Witherspoon is paid $6 million to narrate a nature show on the troubled platform where her husband works. And her husband went to work for Quibi, quitting a job that he'd worked at for a long time with CAA. She's a voice in the show, the Fierce Queens, which is something that's on this platform, which I've never seen and probably never will. But the simple fact that she's getting paid as much as she is for doing that, and they're, pay cutting executives, and, some of those people's jobs are at risk, despite what we just read. I can understand why they'd be irritated. But they hired a huge roster of people, J-Lo, LeBron James, a bunch of people to make content. And those quick bites just haven't been a good fit for people, like we've talked about. Of course, the morale in the building, according to the staff that work there, is very dark. No kidding. You're working at a dead app. When we talked about the streaming wars, there were certainly content providers out there that were going to be a part of it and slugging it out. Quibi wasn't even remotely close, because nobody's going to want to hear from these people. There's a tiny fraction of the population who is going to look at the celebrities and go, oh, I have to watch this. Super tiny. Anyway, we talked about it last week. We'll talk about it some more, but on Apple's platform of the top 200 apps that are downloaded, and the performance of those apps, it's fallen completely out of the top 200. In fact, it's now resting at 1,007 on the list of apps that are downloaded. But again, they have plenty of money. Every article wants to talk about this war chest of cash that they have, but they've been handing it out. And I know it's not something that you can see, but they're hiring a bunch of celebrities, and celebrities are expensive. Obviously, Reese Witherspoon narrating a animal show for $6 million. That's not cheap. And they're getting 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there of this content. So it's just dumb. But I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't get any better for them, because like I've mentioned before, and I'm going to follow up on real quickly, Quibi is in the middle of a of a lawsuit. Also, they were in a lawsuit prior to the launch because they had started using EKO's technology to make the streaming platform operate, which was dumb. You're using somebody else's tech. It's easily proven that the protocols, the tech that was implemented is theirs. From what I understand, some of that code is residing within Quibi's system, whom they were supposedly going to partner with, or they were, trying to have a partnership relationship or whatever, but they clearly just stole their tech and walked out the door. And now the hedge fund management group that actually owns EKO is Elliott Management Corp. And they're actually wading in with all of their money. So you've got a lot of lawyers with a lot of money behind them that are going to do battle in court because this streaming platform. Oh, ill-conceived, poorly executed, no clear direction for their content. And you didn't have enough content to compete with everybody else. Not to mention the fact that, you're limiting yourself to a couple of handheld devices, tablets and phones, and didn't think that maybe somebody would want to watch it on their television. People still like to use their big screens when they're on the subway or they're on the train or when they're in their car in traffic or whatever. Yeah, they'll use their small screen to listen to something. They'll use their small screen to watch something, but that's not going to be their primary method. And I know a lot of these kids do it, but that's more for privacy, away from other people to do that stuff. You get an opportunity to play a video game, it's more satisfying to do it on a bigger screen. The same thing with utilizing any form of technology. Anyway, I'm going to beat that dead horse to pieces, but what do you think, guys? I think this is the last video I'm going to do on Quibi. I think that, but do you think that this platform's going to survive? Because I really don't. I mean, how? I don't have it. The young people around me don't have it. Most people don't even know what it is. Anyway, so do you think it's going to live on? I don't think so. Do you think this type of programming outside of YouTube is actually effective? I don't think so. But hey, if you have a different opinion, shoot it down there in the comments below. Otherwise, take the time to hit the like on the video if you liked it. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe if you're not already. I really appreciate that. Thank you for spending time here today just listening to me ramble about this stupid failure of a service. And, make sure you take the opportunity to support other independent creators, because we all rise together, and it's really important to give the little guys the opportunity to build up into something large to entertain you, because we're all falling out of love quickly with the bigger media groups. Anyway, make sure you take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands. I'm going to do that for a long time. Well, until next time, bye.
Thanks for visiting today. Be sure you're subscribed and hit that for alerts.
Yay!
Of course, like and share all of the videos that you can, as it helps with the algorithm. Have a great day.